This video goes through my 4 piece of content per week strategy. And this strategy is here to make sure that you are putting out really, really targeted, high quality content versus just burning yourself out, creating a ton of content that isn't actually helpful or valuable and isn't moving your dream audience member along the customer journey. And the reason that this strategy sort of came to be was because when I first started building my audience online, when I started my first Facebook group, I was in a coaching program, and the advice that they gave me was just to post at least 2 times a day, every single day, maybe take one day off. And so I was posting like anywhere from like 8 to 10 times a week. It was absolutely exhausting. I wasn't getting the engagement I wanted. So I was like, there must be a better way to do this. So I started experimenting, and I found when I actually started to do less and focus on putting out more high quality pieces of content, learn how to drive traffic through my email list and all my social media channels to these specific pieces of content, that's when my engagement went up, and that's when my conversion started to get better too. And this is the strategy I'm going to be giving all of you to use as well. So here's what the 4 post a week content chart looks like. Here's the overview of the actual week. So and again, you can organize these days any way that you like, but it's the core content that's on here. You just want to make sure that you include. It doesn't matter what day it's on. Okay, so as you can see on here, I've got one day off, Sundays off. Monday, we've got the problem solving question and the promo for your Tuesday live video event. And the event in your group is going to be the main event, the high quality piece of content that's moving people to the next step. And you want to make sure that you're using Facebook events, and you are sending out an RSVP to Tuesday training and a link to the event via email. So that's what you're doing one day. And you're also doing some promo for Tuesday Live. It's not a big thing. It's literally just, hey, don't forget about this event tomorrow, and posting and actually creating the Facebook event. Tuesday, you've got your solution live. Again, it's scheduled as an event in the group, and it's good to send out like a 15 or 30-minute warning to your participants beforehand to meet you in the group. Wednesday, you'll post a replay of the live. Thursday, you've got an engagement day, and this could be kind of like a fun day. It could be a free day. I'm going to talk about specifically what goes into this a little later. And then lastly, the new member welcome. So I know you might be thinking that is more than 4 posts. So we've got problem solving, right? We've got the weekly solution, the replay, engagement. This is the core 4. And then the welcome new members is just a reminder that you want to have 1 or 2 days a week scheduled that you are doing your welcome post in your Facebook group. So it's not anything new you're creating. It's just a reminder to create. So this is what the overview looks like. And now I'm going to dive deep into each section, because I know you might be thinking, I don't know what the heck a problem solving question is. I don't know what a weekly solution live looks like. No worries. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so let's start with the problem solving question or post. So the idea with this is that you want to have a really super simple post that is going to start to almost like rub your audience's nose and like, what isn't going well, what's not really working, or like kind of push some of their hot buttons and start conversations around some of the things that they are struggling with. And this is where you can start to have authentic conversations. So I'll give an example. In one of my Facebook groups, I posted, be honest with me. Do you enjoy running your Facebook group, or is it totally exhausting for you? And I had all of these people commenting like about how exhausting the group was, or maybe they enjoyed the group, and it was starting conversations with me about this topic. And all of you know, I teach about Facebook groups. It's like where I help people with their video strategy. So I know people are exhausted running their group. And so this was kind of a hot, sensitive topic that I knew would start conversations. And the reason I chose this was because in like a day or two later, I was going to do a solution live all about highly converting Facebook groups. 3 things entrepreneurs fail to do. And so going back to this chart right here, your problem solving question or post is something is hitting again on your audience's hot buttons, but it's also related to whatever live topic you're hitting on that week. So for me, I knew I was going to talk about highly converting Facebook groups, so that's what my problem post was going to relate to. And anyone who commented on this post saying they were burnt out by running their Facebook group, that was the person who was then going to go on to watch the solution live where I talked about what most people are failing to do and what they need to be doing instead, right? So I was able to tag anyone who commented on this post in the comments of the solution live. So that's one way I'm starting to get traffic to my lives that way. So before we move forward onto the live portion, hopefully this is all making good sense to you, where you're understanding this is, rubbing your audience's nose in their problems, starting conversations that are going to then lead to them watching the solution live video that week. Other examples of like successful problem solving posts, here's a few that I've used. The trick with this is to make it like stupid simple, super easy. Don't make it complicated. Don't create more work for yourself. I see so many people create these like fancy Canva templates and like long wordy posts. Like this is literally all I'm doing. I'm just taking like a one of these like Facebook little image cards and just writing out like 1 or 2 lines, and that's it. Keeping it simple, right? It takes me like less than a minute to do this, and it's all about starting conversations. And there's a couple of like kind of proven ways to start these posts that are really, really helpful. So I'll give some examples. So I've got curious, how many of you have sales or deals going for Black Friday for your audience? Yes or no? So I'm not asking super detailed. I'm just asking for a yes or a no. And then in the comment section, I'm going to be able to dive deeper with them, have a conversation. Another one, do you look forward to going live for your audience? Yes or no? Again, another yes or no question to make it easy for your audience to engage with you. Another really good way to start these off is true or false. So true or false, posting content every day is essential to your online business success. And so again, I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just asking for a true or a false. So it's easy for people to comment. Another one, 79 days left in 2021. Drop a yes if you're on track to hit your business goals by end of the year. If no, share what you need help with. So again, simple and easy. Another one I really like is on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your video engagement? 1, you're getting crickets. 10, the likes and comments are rolling in. Another way you could be getting people to engage is to comment a number. So I've got how many cold and spammy DMs do you get in an average week? So not asking for a lot, just a number. Another one, video marketing is a non-negotiable marketing strategy for online entrepreneurs. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you agree, disagree. So again, don't make your life hard. Don't worry about creating fancy Canva templates and writing long things for this. Like you can if you like, if that's your style. But I like to keep my life simple and easy. Just have an impactful question you're asking that's going to like kind of, again, rub your audience's nose in what's going on. Start conversations that lead to your solution live. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be effective. Okay, let's talk about the solution live now. And I'm just going to be very kind of do an overview of the solution live, but the live video topics that you're choosing every single week in your group, right? The live is the main event. This is the piece of content that is moving people along your customer journey, whether they're taking you up on a challenge, booking in a call, coming to a webinar. This is where they are moving to the next step with you, right? And so the way we choose topics is going to be through the Power 5 video framework, which is a separate video. But for now, all you need to know is this solution live is the solution to the problem post, right? That you posted earlier in the week. So like I said before, when we talked about is a Facebook group exhausting you, We've got highly converting Facebook groups, 3 things most entrepreneurs fail to do. And if you're serious about gaining traction, comment Spider Monkey. And, this is how I was getting it this week. This is how I was getting people onto the phone and moving them into the next step from there. Awesome. So again, I hope you're seeing it's not a lot of content so far this week. Now it would have been a problem post that's 1 or 2 lives, and then this one live event. And again, the lives are the main event that you're building trust and moving people along the customer journey. Okay, the next day you're posting the replay of the solution live. So this is really simple. So this is you could say, last night I hosted this training on the 7 keys for video marketing success. I want the replay. And then you can have all these people, I had a lot of people commenting for this replay. So that's how you could post it. Or you could just say something like, need the replay for last night's live on building your Facebook group. Link is in the comments. So keep it really simple on this too. Don't work harder than you actually need to for this. Okay, the engagement post. We're going to spend a little bit more time on the engagement post because there's 2 types of engagement posts. Right now, I think one of the things that you want to think about with building your audience online is when people find you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever they find you, right? They are finding you because they want a specific answer to their problem. They're trying to solve a problem. They're looking for a solution. They're looking to get away from whatever pain in their life is going on, right? And, that's why they come to you. They come for the content. They come for that solution, but they stay in your ecosystem for community. They stay there because they like you. They like the people that you surround yourself with. They like the environment. And so the problem-solving post and the solution live post are there to provide solutions and to start getting them to have those light bulb moments. And this engagement post that you do is there for fun and also for authority building, right? So you can have some posts that are more fun on engagement days and some posts that are more authority building on other weeks. So let's look at what a fun and community type of focused post would look like. So you could do one where you're literally just sharing what you're doing. So I had one day where I went to an orchard and I said, picking some juicy apples. How are you spending your weekends? This was my fun engagement post, talking about the community. When I was making a lot of reels, I was posting my reels and people thought they were so funny. It was just a fun thing that we could kind of laugh about together. It wasn't necessarily giving people any light bulb moments, but it was a fun thing that was people could see another side to me. Another way you could do community focused stuff is when holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate and whatever people celebrate in your group, whenever there's relevant things like that, go live or write a post with kind of recognizing the day. Or you could do really simple things you could ask people about their biggest wins. Or, you could, if there's a special day, you could acknowledge that day. There was one day that there was National Entrepreneurs Day. And I was share the one word that describes your entrepreneurial journey. So it's just something fun and light that shows the human kind of side of you. So again, with these engagement posts, we can have fun ones, but then we can also have authority building types of engagement posts. So there's 5 types of authority building style posts. And when you put together, because I'm going to give you some homework to put together, your version of the 5 or the 4 posts per week, exactly what you're going to include. These are some of the authority building posts you can include. So number 1 could be something like long form posts. So stuff like this, where it's basically where you are sharing a story or a point that is, sharing something relevant, either about you or your business or something you think would be helpful for the group. So for example, in December of 2021, I did a post as we were nearing the end of 2021 saying, the number 1 needle moving, business altering end of year activity to finish 2021 is absolutely nothing. And I talked all about how I'm doing absolutely nothing and just resting. And that's really it. Another post that I did recently was literally just talking about supporting small businesses on my experience, a recent experience that I have that I thought would be kind of interesting for the group to hear about. So it's talking about like a little bit of my personal life and perspective, but also inviting the audience to engage. Okay. You could also do short form posts. For example, lately I've been doing these Thursday truth bombs. So they're only a couple of sentences long each. And it's just basically making like a big, bold point or statement and then asking if they agree or disagree. I'll give an example of a recent one. Thursday truth bomb. You can always make more money, but you'll never get your time back. If you lose 10K, you can make it back. If you waste 10 years pondering a dream, you're never getting that time back. Death's an unavoidable part of the human condition. I used to be fiercely protective of my money, but the decision to be more protective of my time is what changed my life and business for good. Thoughts. And I had all these people commenting like if they thought it was true or not or whatever. It's just sparking conversation. This is another post that this isn't like directly related to video marketing, but it's relevant for my audience. It's getting them thinking about something. And that's, all of us are experiencing and starting good conversations. Okay, another really, really good authority building post or video could be showing the behind the scenes. And this stuff is so good. Like people love this stuff. So for example, this week was the week I launched the Video Skills Lab, which is a low ticket monthly membership. And leading up to that launch, I did so many behind the scenes posts of what was to come. So every week I was doing a behind the scenes post while I was launching it. So I did a behind the scenes video of how I built the entire membership in a week without overthinking, plus the details. Had all these people who were now like, ooh, like what membership are you launching? I want to hear how you built it, the behind the scenes of it. Or I wrote a post on this too, talking about how, I'm really excited about launching this, but technically this is the wrong time. And talked about how, there's never a right time and why you should go for it, blah, 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 like some advice. So share the behind the scenes of what you are working on. I think your audience will be really interested to hear like what you do and what you're building for them and your rationale, like include them in on the process. Okay, another really, really good one, client testimonials. So I love to take screenshots with obviously people's permission, of what success they are having. So starting all the way from the right, got one of my lovely clients just launched her group and already she's booked 3 people and there's less than 100 people in it. For those of you who think you need a ton of leads to sell, think again. And I basically talked about how what she's doing is amazing and how it proves like a lot of the gurus in the industry wrong. And then I've got the little photo. This post is very, very similar, where we talk about, for those of you who think you need to constantly post online, think again. And then I have this testimonial of someone saying, never has taking action without spending so many hours creating content paid off like this. And so it's starting conversations. And I even do like a little offer at the end where like, if you comment Rockstar, I'll send a training your way on how to implement this 4 post a week strategy. That's kind of meta, right? We're talking about the 4 post a week strategy and I've got a post on the 4 post a week strategy. But anyway, it's off topic. All right. So the last example I'll give is a video you could do. You could do like an interview with a client where you could interview them and talk about what success they've had, all that good stuff. Okay. Last thing, and I actually personally love this, is guest interviews. If you have people who have similar audiences, who are non-competing, they are great people to bring on. And so these are actually snapshots from like one of my first Facebook groups. This is when I was doing a lot of leadership coaching. And one of the fastest ways that I grew my group was by hosting these interviews and doing promo with them. And like their audiences were joining my Facebook group because of it. And I also made some like really valuable connections along the way. And these interviews provided a lot of value for the group too. So I had one of my friends that we talked about, building an extraordinary culture. Another like friend mentor who was writing a book. We talked about her book writing process and creating space for magic in business. My book coach came on and talked to us where, he talked to us about becoming a published author. Another friend of mine, Brent, we talked about like the art of podcast guesting, all of that good stuff. So this was a great way to provide value for the audience and also to grow my group. All right. So far we've talked about the problem solving post, the solution live. We've talked about the replay. We've talked about the engage post. So whether you're doing more of a fun day or whether you're doing an authority building post, one of the ones we've talked about. And then finally, to wrap up the week, we're doing like a new member welcome. So I go through exactly what to include in the welcome post in a different video in the build your Facebook group section. So don't worry about that now. But here's just an example of what that would look like. Okay, so I hope what you're getting from all this is like, we want to avoid treating your social media, your Facebook groups like a content dump, right? Quality over quantity. Focus on giving your audience light bulb moments, aha moments. Don't worry about constantly posting with like this fear that people are going to forget about you, or this fear that like if you don't post, like something terrible is going to happen, right? Or like to just assuage some sort of social media guilt, right? The social media guilt is real for so many people. So don't treat it like a content dump. Quality over quantity. Always challenge your audience's belief system, because again, if they know every single week at, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, you're going live, and every week you are coming hard with the value, they're going to mark their calendar or they're going to watch the replay and they're going to show up consistently. And that's how you're going to cut through a lot of the noise online. Secondly, because you're not spending a lot of energy creating content, you're spending some, but not a lot. You want to get really, really good at getting your content to circulate throughout the whole week. That means if you go live on a Wednesday, you want to make sure that live is circulating until the next time you go live. And that means that you're tagging people from the solution post that were interested. You're creating, tagging people from the event that were interested. And I've got other videos that are going to teach you more about this, but, emailing your list to drive traffic to those videos. So it's not enough to just put those 4 posts up. You also have to get really good at driving traffic to those 4 posts and training your audience on how they need to be showing up, right? And if you can see number 3 here, just to really nail this home, we've got, even though you're only posting 4 times a week, that's the front end marketing. The behind the scenes marketing needs to happen every day. So what I mean by that is the conversations you're having either in the comment section or DMs, or, when you're, on live with your audience. That's the most important thing. That's what's going to get people showing up and engaging with your few but very high quality pieces of content. All right, so your homework after watching this video is to download the 4 post a week template and customize your plan. And so I'm going to go all the way back. What I mean by that is, plan out when you're going to be doing this stuff. So the key is every day you're going to always have in your week a problem solving question. You'll have the promo for the live. You'll have your solution live, your post the replay. You'll have an engagement day, welcome new members day, but start to figure out like, what do you want this to look like? Right? So specifically, like, what do you want your engagement days to look like? What kinds of stuff are you going to be talking about then? And you can post more than 4 days, but if you are someone who's strapped for time, just stick with these 4 days. But if you're someone who has the time, maybe you add, 2 or 3 more engagement days, and maybe 1 day a week is a guest interview. 1 day a week is a client interview. 1 day a week is just a fun post. So again, you don't have to only do 4 days. You can add more if you like. I would just caution you that not to treat it like a content dump and to make sure what you're creating is personal or is purposeful and thought out well. All right, looking forward to seeing your charts, and I will see you in the next video.